This is the summary of Daf Lamed Zayin. So we're continuing to analyze the specific stages of the psukim. We talk about the taking captives. That is, that sometimes our taivas capture us. They misdirect our capacities. And every time we do an avera, we create an oppositional force, a prosecutor, which is comprised of both the nefesh and a guf. The nefesh is the taiva, and the guf is the behavior. So to counter that, we have to uproot the nefesh, the taiva, and we have to uproot the behavior, and we uproot the behavior through the vidoy, through the verbalization of it. Excuse me. And that we redirect ourselves away from this taiva, and we transform it into a passion for godliness. The Maimer then goes on to analyze the specific stages in the Yifas Tayar halacha of the Parsha. So we speak about shaving the head and growing the nails long, and we explain that the hair and the nails are indicative of the subtleties of thought, the hair and the nails of behavior, and they need to be trimmed, because if a person is a Talmud Chacham, so even his simple chatter is worth learning. But if a person is not at that level, then anything that's not focused, like hair and nails, needs to be trimmed and needs to be avoided. Like we say that a simpleton shouldn't eat meat because meat is indulgence. In contrast, a scholar should eat meat because the scholar eats only to bring about his scholarship. Then it says you should take her as a wife, and we explain that Torah is sometimes called the groom, and sometimes it's called the bride. And the idea is that it becomes personalized, it becomes aligned with us. And then the Parsha talks about that Hashem will bless us in all that we do, that if a person is overly invested with his intellect in his material things, it will not produce bracha. On the contrary, because he's misunderstanding the source of his bracha, it has to come from Hashem. This is what it means that she should take off her captive garments. This is the makif, that whole sort of attitude and culture and influence of klipa. Because in Kedusha, there's a makif, and in Klipa, there's a makif. But in Kedusha, there's even a more intense level called Yechida, a makif of makif, which doesn't exist within Klipa, as indicated by the idea that Klipa has a shadow, but not a shadow of a shadow. So by removing the makif of Klipa, we make ourselves receptive to the makif of Kedusha and the makif of makif. And then it takes us that it will dwell within our house, that it becomes permanently affixed within us. This is to the point even of Mesiras Nefesh. And then she cries out for her father, which is the concept of tshuva that brings us to that high and loftiest of levels.